Hi guys, that's me here and I'm back with my Premier League predictions. Today we're doing it on Football Manager. I've put real effort into this, so any likes or any feedback on it would be really appreciated. I've got all my notes, and in the background will be a match, what I think is going to be the best match, or well, the biggest teams of the weekend. So it's Manchester City versus Newcastle at the Etihad Stadium. I'll go through what I believe the lineups will be. So it's Joe Hart in goal, pretty obvious for City. Zabaleta right back, pretty much been standard. Company is a slight doubt, I think, but I think he'll play. Lescott and Kolarov again just will probably be in there. Yaya Toure, there's been some talk about his future at City, but I'm sure he'll feature in this match. And Javi Garcia seems to be playing a lot recently, so I think he'll be in. Milner on the right, Tevez and Silva also in there, who haven't been playing to their best lately, but I don't know, I guess Mancini will hope that they'll be back to their best. And Aguero, who actually returns from an injury, I believe. Newcastle lineup then. Tim Krul in goal, Simpson at right back, Yanga and Biwa, or Ambiwa, however you want to say it. Colaccini, Anita, Obertan, Cabai, Sissoko, Gutierrez, Gouffran and Cisse. I've tried to make these as realistic as possible, and I've got the tactics how I think the players will play. I've just got to change the match viewing to put it onto a 2D classic so it doesn't get all laggy. So yeah, we might as well just get straight into it. I'm going to be talking about all the other matches as well. I also want to see the full match if we can. Replays. We'll do a goal action actually, because I need this to be quite long and I want the full match. So yeah, obviously the main thing of this video is not the match, it is behind it, but the match is just something to be on the screen. Go on, Cisse. Okay, I won't talk about the match anymore. So the first match I'm going to talk about is Sunderland versus Manchester United. Sunderland have won 1 in 23 Premier League games versus Manchester United, and this one doesn't look very good as Catamol and Fletcher are ruled out. Danny Graham has not scored for 369 minutes. Manchester United have gone 537 minutes without conceding any goals. I'm not sure whether that's just Premier League or whether that's all competitions. And United are on course to break Chelsea's points record. Aguero thrown goal, but it doesn't matter. So I've come with a 3-0 win for Manchester United here. They will most likely be playing a backup team because they play Chelsea Monday in the FA Cup quarter-final replay. But I still think it's going to be 3-0. They are away, so it could easily be 1 or 2-0. I don't think it'll be more than 3-0. I would be very surprised if it was. But yeah, I think Hernandez and Young will get the goals. I know Young's not really, one of those kind of bench players, but I think he's going to play anyway. I just have that feeling. Yeah, so that about wraps up that. There's not really a whole lot to talk about in terms of who's going to play, apart from Catamol and Fletcher are ruled out. Next match I'm going to talk about is Arsenal versus Reading. This is very interesting because Diaby, Walcott and Wilshere are all out, and Chesney is again expected to miss another game due to his mental tiredness or whatever it is. Just basically an excuse for why he's been so bad recently, and an excuse to play embarrassingly a better goalkeeper. Tevez, are we even going to get a goal? But yeah, so Walcott and Wilshere are massive losses for Arsenal. Obviously the two best players in my opinion for Arsenal this year, along with Santi Cazorla and, well, what's his face at left back since he's joined Nacho Monreal. Diaby, he's out for 8 to 9 months now. I personally would release him. He's a bit of a waste of wages. He's not that good anyway. And there's a goal, and it's an own goal by Company. I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. Yeah, so in terms of stats about the game, 19 goals in the last 2 meetings this season between Arsenal and Reading, including that 7-5 I think it was game in the Capital One Cup. But Arsenal have a 100% record versus Reading, having met 11 times in cup and league competitions, so that is very interesting. Reading have the worst away record with only 5 points from 45 possible points, and Arsenal have won all games they have led at half-time this season. Coincidentally, Reading have the worst second half record and Arsenal have the best second half record. So an early goal for Arsenal and a lead at half-time, then it's pretty much guaranteed that they're going to win. But I've only gone for a 2-0. I don't think they're going to absolutely destroy them because of the losses that they've got in Walcott and Wilshere, and Diaby, if you want to think that's a loss. I don't think Podolski's going to start. Giroud, I don't know how he's going to play. And it's 2-0 to Newcastle inside 10 minutes. This is crazy. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm going to go with a Cazorla goal and a Giroud goal. I don't think Giroud's going to have a great game, but it's going to be one of those games where he gets the goal anyway. So yeah. Next up is Man City versus Newcastle, which you're seeing on screen. And currently it's 2-0, which wasn't in my prediction, which I'll tell you right at the end of all the news and stuff. Aguero is back from a 3-game injury, which is good for him, and City, of course, because, well, quite frankly, Tevez, Dzeko, Silva, all their big players have been really appalling this whole season, really. Based on this season, I never would have thought Tevez was one of the best strikers in the world, just a couple of years ago. And I would be on releasing. He's been that bad. I would release him, He's been that bad. If he's on that kind of money, I would have released him by now. But I don't think, I think he will be better next season, I think. And the same with Dzeko, who could be swapping with, is it Lewandowski, the latest rumour, I believe, swapping him with Dortmund, which I think would be a good deal for both parties if Dortmund are getting some money as well. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Tutu, Debuchy, Santon, Ben Arfa and Hadera are all missing for Newcastle. Ben Arfa is pretty much definitely going to miss the rest of the season. The other four I'm not sure about. Hadera, I still haven't heard anything about his injury from the Wigan game. But they're all missing, so that's why you didn't see them in the lineup. So if you're thinking, where the hell's Debuchy, when I was reading out the thing, or where the hell's Tutu or Ben Arfa, well, they're just not available, so I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible. They weren't available. City are on a 12-game unbeaten run versus Newcastle. And the last time Newcastle won was in 2000, I believe. I can't be 12 games, surely, because that's only like 6 years, isn't it? I think it's the last time Newcastle won away. Alan Shearer scored in a 1-0 win at Maiden Road, if anyone remembers those days. 2000, I believe that was. So yeah, and Newcastle have the second worst away record, but that's really not showing in this. Tevez with the free kick now, straight at Tim Krul. So yeah, that's about all the news really there is going around. I think this is going to be a 3-1 win to Man City. I know they haven't been on the best of form, but Newcastle's away form is absolutely shocking, and I just think City have, what it takes to win this one. And with Aguero back, I think they could do better now that he's back. So I think Aguero will score. I'm hoping Tevez can get back into form and he'll get a goal, because that'd be pretty good. And I just have a feeling Milner's going to score. He is his former club, of course. He's at Newcastle for quite a while, so I just have that feeling, it's about time he scored. I just have a feeling he is going to score. So yeah, that's about it for that. I think Cisse will probably get the goal for Newcastle, but to be honest, anyone can score in Newcastle's team. You just never know who's going to pop up with a goal. Anyway, the next match I'm going to talk about is Southampton versus Chelsea. I think, oh wait, I'm not going to go on to my prediction. I like to do that right at the end of all the news, so that you can put your prediction in and compare it with mine as well, with all the information I have. So Lallana, Luke Shaw, Højbjerg are all injury doubts, along with Gary Cahill and Ramirez. Now, I don't think Gary Cahill and Ramirez will play if they are injury doubts for this game, because they've got 2 more days to go before they play United, and Ramirez and Gary Cahill could be key to beating United. So yeah, I just think those two really don't. I wouldn't play them. They don't necessarily have to play for Chelsea. They do have other players who can play. I think Mikel's going to come in for Ramirez in this game. So yeah, Chelsea have Man United away. At home in the FA Cup quarter-final, replay, isn't it? Not second leg. replay. So yeah, expect a weakened team again from Chelsea. You'll probably see Torres or Bar start. I would imagine Bar starts. I don't think I wouldn't want to play Torres against. I'm not sorry. I would play Torres against United simply because he's got that history with them. You know, he's got the record, and it might just spark something. And honestly, I think Demba Ba is just as bad as Torres in Chelsea anyway. He was good at Newcastle. He doesn't fit at Chelsea. It's just such a bad fit. He can't hold up the ball, and that's the one thing they really need in a striker. Someone like Falcao, but someone who can also get goals. That's what they need. Anyway, I'm going off again. That's a terrible pass. So yeah, I think Demba Ba will probably start today, which could. I just think he's that bad. You know, he's worse than Torres, to be honest. Yeah. Anyway, but Chelsea are unbeaten the last 7 games versus Southampton. But Lambert is set for his 500th league appearance in English football, which is a big milestone for him. And he scored his 100th goal, was it, against Liverpool? Is that right? His 100th Southampton goal, was that 150th or something like that? Or was it his, like, I don't know, it was some landmark happened against Liverpool, I think it was. Or maybe the match before, I can't remember now. But Juan Mata is the first player to score 10 and have 10 assists this season in the Premier League, which is a very good thing to have. He's been probably the best player in the Premier League this season, along with Suarez and Suarez really. I think those two have been the best. I think in general play Mata has been a little bit better. Maybe that's just me being biased because I prefer Mata as a player. But yeah, Obertan is hurt, but I might have to bring him off in a minute. I am managing both teams, by the way, so I could get the lineup as realistic as possible. But yeah, I've gone with a 1-1 draw for Chelsea versus for Southampton versus Chelsea. I think Lambert's going to score, and I think Juan Mata is going to get his 11th goal. If not that, Lampard, but I think they'll keep Lampard for the United game. Gouffran and Newcastle are doing really well here today. But yeah, that's about all I got for the Southampton and Chelsea game. Let's move on to Swansea versus Spurs. How long has this been? 12 minutes already, yeah. I'll have to speed it up a bit and then... Yeah, but anyway. So, Chico, Bale, Lennon, Dawson are all back from recent injuries or illnesses, which is good for both sides really. You know, they've got some really key players back, especially Tottenham. They've got Bale, Lennon, their 2 best wingers. To be honest, their 2 best players. The 2 players who are actually going to do something for them today. Because the rest of the team, I don't want to say it's average, but it's not top 4 quality, and that's just how good Bale is. You know, he's not as good as Suarez or anything. And believe me, Suarez is a much worse team to deal with. But yeah, I think Bale and Lennon, not Lloris this season. I'd say Dawson to a point is top 4 quality, but I don't really think so. Asokota, I guess you could put him in there. Scott Parker at his best was, but not anymore. The season has not been great. Yeah, Tottenham just have a team that's not really top 4 quality, but they're really overachieving due to Bale and Lennon being so good this season. But yeah, so Swansea last beat Tottenham in 1982 2-0, and since then they just haven't been able to win. But they have only been in the Premier League for the last couple of years, obviously. So yeah, Swansea have the exact home record as they did last year at this point. I'm not exactly sure what that home record is. I should have taken that down in my notes. But yeah, and have never lost 2 in a row under Michael Laudrup. Is it Michael? God, I'm losing my names now. I think it's Michael Laudrup. So yeah, that's obviously something that's looking good. But Tottenham have lost 3 straight games for the first time under Andrew Villas-Boas, which is a big thing for, you know, in the last few games of the season. Well, the last 8 games I believe we're in now. Yeah, in the last 8 games. So my prediction was a 2-2 draw for this one. I don't think Tottenham have quite got enough, and I don't think Swansea have quite got enough, although all their players are coming back, and I'm hoping we'll see a really good game with quite a few goals. So Swansea or Tottenham could both nick it, I think. And we're only saying, you know, Swansea have a real chance because Tottenham are in really bad form. It depends which Tottenham turns up. If it's the first leg into Milan Tottenham that turns up, great. If it's the second leg, we'll probably be seeing a draw, maybe even a loss. But I think Michu and Dyer are going to score. You know, just standard. You know, they're the two players. They're Swansea's best two attacking players, I'd say. And Bale will get both Tottenham's goals because, well, it's Bale. So I've got to turn over my page of notes now, and we move on to the next game, which is West Ham versus West Brom. And I want to actually put this. No, we'll leave it for now. Yeah. So West Ham versus West Brom. Kevin Nolan, Joe Cole, and George McCartney are all available for West Ham, back from injuries. Oh, what a goal from Tevez! I literally just looked up. What a goal from Carlos Tevez. Hopefully he can do stuff like that today. So yeah, they're all available for West Ham, which is, well, great for West Ham. You know, West Ham haven't been on the best form recently, so they really needed a few players to come back, especially Nolan, I think, and Joe Cole, obviously a bit of a legend at West Ham now. Stephen Reid is back for West Brom, but James Morrison is a doubt. Whether he'll play or not, I don't know. It obviously depends on how much they want to win. He is one of their better players, James Morrison. I think he's a really good player. Anyway, the last 4 matches between these two have been draws, so that doesn't really look like it's going to be too great a match. You know, these two aren't the two teams that you think will put on the best of matches, but they easily could put on a really good match. You know, it just depends which side of their teams turn up. If it's the the good West Ham, I think we're going to have a really good game. If it's the bad West Ham, it might be a West Brom walkover. We could just have a complete flop from West Brom. You know, they've got to be favourites for this game. Free kick here now to Newcastle, headed away. So yeah, West Ham have only taken 7 points from the last 27 available, which is why, you know, I don't think they've got. This is why I think, you know, West Brom have got to be favourites, and West Brom have only conceded 1 goal in the last 3 away games, which is a pretty good record. So yeah, my prediction is I think it's going to be West Brom to win 2-1. Nolan will probably get West Ham's goal, someone like that. But I think Lukaku, and I have a feeling Brunt's going to get a goal as well. I don't know why, I just have that feeling. Same feeling I have with Milner. I just have a feeling he's going to get a goal. Anyway, that's half time. Now at 2-1, so it's going quite well. Well, it's going very well for Newcastle. No way they would have expected it. It's a good goal from Tevez. I can't remember Gouffran's goal, and scrappy company goal. I'm pretty sure Gouffran's was relatively scrappy as well. But yeah, Gouffran's having a good game. That's about it. Obertan's looking really tired, so I'm actually going to bring him off. Oh crap, I haven't got anyone who can play right wing. Okay, Kings Gosling play it. This is the part where I really didn't really want. Oh god, he's crap, isn't he? Right, this is where Newcastle's injury problems come in. Oh, Gouffran can play. Bring on Obertan and stick Amiobi up front. There we go. I'm a genius. How about City? How are they doing? Did I have to confirm that? No, I didn't think I did. City, in terms of fitness, they're doing okay. I just want to keep this as, you know, entertaining a game as possible. It's been pretty good so far. 3 goals in the first half. It's pretty good, I guess. I'm going to put it on extended now, though. I think. Where is it? Yeah, I'm going to put it on extended because we're almost through all the matches, and we've only just started the second half. Anyway, the next match I'm going to talk about is Wigan versus Norwich. Now, McManaman, Alcaraz, Mark Bunn, Pilkington are all expected to miss through injury and suspension issues, while Tetty and Russell Martin should both return for Norwich. 3 of the last 5 meetings between these two have been 1-1 draws, including the first match for Norwich back. And Norwich won the other 2, which doesn't make it look good for Wigan. But Wigan have more than doubled Norwich's scoring rate in 2013 with a ratio of 13-5, which is insane. Norwich have won only 1 of the last 13, losing 6 of those. So for me, Wigan are at home. I think that they've actually got some fans in their stadium towards the end of the season, so that's when they start playing. So I think Kone and Boyce are going to get the goals in a 2-1 win. I say Boyce just because I love him so much. He's one of my favourite players. But I think Norwich are going to get a goal, and I think Holt will probably get it. They'll probably take the lead, to be honest, and Wigan will just absolutely destroy them in the second half. Oh my god, now we're way too far ahead. Okay, I think this is where we can go back. I'm just going to make all the 3 substitutions where both teams down. Like I say, I just want to make it as good a game for you guys to watch. So let's get Robwell on. They're losing, so I don't think they'll... Actually, no, they'll probably make something more like bring on Sammy and Nasri for Milner. That's what I'd do. I probably would have started Nasri, to be honest. Dench versus bench. And Garcia's looking quite tired. But they probably bring on Dzeko because they would. It's Mancini. So I'm pretty sure Tevez, yeah, you can play out on that right wing. Let's get Dzeko up there as the target man, of course. And yeah, I think that will do for them. And let's do Newcastle's last 2 substitutions. Obviously made one at half time. So they've got Kabai's relatively tired. They'll probably be going for more defensive substitutions. I don't know what they do, to be honest. I probably wouldn't change much when they're 70. Anita's not having a great game. Oh crap, don't want to do that. So if he's not having a great game, probably bring on Ryan Taylor. Anita can play left back, by the way. He did play. I think he started his career as a left back. And bring off Stephen Taylor for Cisse. Try and hold that win. I think that's what Alan Pardew would do because he's a bit of an idiot, to be honest. Can Kabai drop back as well? Sissoko maybe? Yeah, I think they'll probably do something like that. And really try and sit on it because I think that's just the kind of manager Pardew is. He will do pretty much anything. He doesn't care how he wins. I want to put this back on full match now. Oh, that's not the one. No, you could go away. Back to full match because we're 70 minutes in now. Okay, sorry about that. Did I get onto my... No, next game. Everton versus Stoke. Okay, Fellaini and Pienaar are both suspended. Fellaini in particular is a massive loss in a game against Stoke because of his height. Cisse, can he get a goal just before he goes off? No. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Fellaini, his height is so big in a match against Stoke, and that Shawcross, he needs to mark Shawcross or Huth. You need them marked, and they don't really have many other big players. So I think Jelavic and Anichebe will probably both have to start just because they need that height, attacking and defensively. And they haven't. Have they still got Distan? He might have to play as well because he's pretty tall. Actually, I'm going to put Newcastle. I believe they're already on counter. Let's put them back, drop them back to a defensive. And yes, confirm. So this is a strange prediction from the thing. Anyway, so yeah, but so Fellaini, he's out. Pienaar's out. Not a huge loss in a match like this. He's a good player, but I don't think it's going to be too big. I think they've got players who can replace him. They've got a pretty good squad. Jagielka and Howard are expected to return, whether Howard will actually be in the squad because of Jan Mucker's amazing performance recently against City. I don't know. I personally would put him back in there for a game against Stoke because yes, Jan Mucker had one amazing game, but it doesn't make him a better goalkeeper than Howard. My opinion, one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. And Jagielka, he's good in the air. He's not the tallest, so he won't be marking a Huth or a Shawcross, but he can always mark someone like John Walters, who's got a decent head, and he's good in the air, Jagielka. So I think it's quite important that he comes back into it as well. But anyway, Everton have not beaten Stoke since 2010, and a 5th draw in 10 meetings looks quite likely. Everton have only lost 5 games all season, and Stoke just won 1 in the last 11. So for me, if anyone's going to win this, it looks like it's going to be Everton, but they'll have to nick it 1-0. But Stoke could easily win it just through height difference. But for me, it's going to be a 0-0. I just can't see anyone scoring or anything. I think this is going to be a game that both teams don't want to concede. It's just going to be one of those games, in my opinion. Next game we're going to talk about is Aston Villa versus Liverpool. Darren Bent, Nathan Baker, El Ahmadi and Fabian Delph could all return along with Reina and Carragher, who should at least make the bench. Reina obviously been out with an injury, he might start, but Carragher I don't think they're risking yet. Simpson. No. Just okay. Goodbye. Oh, right, okay. Where was I? Sorry, I got distracted and then I couldn't quite return to where I was, so I just started watching the match and then, yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, Reina. Carragher will probably be on the bench. Reina might start, depending on how he is. In terms of Bent, he'll probably have to start. El Hamadi might play, Delph might play, Baker might play. But anyway, Joe Allen, Borini, Kelly and Kieran Clark and Brett Holman will all miss this game. And Allen and Borini are out for the rest of the season, I believe. Anyway, Liverpool have only won one in the last 4 versus Aston Villa, and Benteke is 4 goals from equalling Dwight Yorkie's record of 17 for Aston Villa in one Premier League season. Liverpool have scored 26 2013 goals, more than anyone else, but haven't won this season if they concede first. So if Aston Villa get the first goal, it's pretty much, you can guess Liverpool won't score, and Aston Villa could easily get the first goal. I think they're fired up for this game, but for me I think it's going to be a 2-1 win. I think Suarez will get a goal, Sturridge might pop up with one. I really want to see Bent score, so I'll go with a Bent goal as well. So anyway, the last match is Fulham versus QPR. That's on Monday, along with the Manchester United versus Chelsea game. I'm going to put this to extended at some point. So yeah, QPR need at least 7 points from the last 8 games, but that is very likely to change. If Aston Villa get a win and they lose this game, then they're going to need 10 points. So yeah, it's Amiobi. Okay, no. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, I don't know. They can do it. QPR, I think, if they win this game, it can really kick them on for the rest of the season. Zamora is fit to face his former club, and Harry Redknapp seems to really like him for some reason. I think he's absolutely crap. He's only scored like 4 goals this season, and just hasn't been playing too great. All fairness, he's been in a pretty poor team all season. But anyway, QPR haven't won for 3 matches with only 1 point, which is quite worrying. And Diakite, Andy Johnson, obviously also a former Fulham player, Traore. Sorry about that, a little problem with my thing. Let's keep going with this. Let's move this into let's move it into extended. Okay, and let's get back on with the talking. So Fulham versus QPR. Diakite, Andy Johnson, obviously a former Fulham player, and Traore are all injured for QPR, and Diarra is injured for Fulham, and Alex Fry is a doubt. So I think it's going to be a 2-1 win for Fulham against QPR. Berbatov and Ruiz, my prediction is to get goals, and Zamora I think will pop up with a goal at last. So yeah, that wraps up my predictions. To finish, I'll talk about... Alright guys, that was the end of the match. Basically my recorder thing timed out. It has been really long. I didn't really realise how long it had been. The future won't be this long, but if you have made it this far, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.